Okay, perfect. We're on session 11, so I think we have 7 more to go to finish up this term of Ignite. And today we're talking about following up with leads. Make sure my phone's on Do Not Disturb. All right. So we're in lead follow-up. Last week we covered keep every lead. We're now follow up with leads. We'll talk about strengthening relationships and qualifying potential buyers and sellers. Session 13 is going to be so good, you guys. That's where really a lot of this comes into play. A lot of it's theory till we get to the point of qualifying people. And then that last section is on the transaction portion. And actually, I don't know why I thought we had 18, we have 20. So we have 9 more. I can't math. Anyway, be sure that you tune in. Just a quick update for next week. I will be on vacation, so I'm going to pre-record next week's session, put it in the YouTube, and Alyssa will also send it out as well. So we shouldn't skip a week. All right, today we're going to talk about lead conversion and learn how to convert a lead to an appointment, improving your conversion rate, and then rehash our daily success system. Okay, Gary Keller says the effort you give to converting leads must match the effort you give to generate them. That's pretty true. Here is a diagram of the lead conversion process. You want to consistently get every possible appointment from the leads you generate. It isn't complicated, but it requires preparation, practice, and purposeful action. And that's from the Shift book. So we want to capture our lead. We're going to connect with our lead. We're going to cultivate them and close them. And this close doesn't mean close to a transaction. This is close to an appointment, because you can't get a transaction without an appointment. All right, so we have possible, probable, and profitable. What are the difference in those? Anybody?
I would say the levels, basically the levels to it. If I were to assume probable business, it's more likely, and then possible or potential people that I could work with. And then I feel like once you hit the probable, it's dwindling down that list to more likely clients, possible clients. And profitable is probably the next step into that.
Right, well, that's when they're talking about lead conversion. Those are the kind of buckets of the conversion. So anybody could be possible business, but probable business comes where you have that interaction, they want to do business with you, you're cultivating that lead through the pipeline. Profitable business is it's gotten to the end of the pipeline and now we're earning a profit, right? So it's important to understand this is the process, because the assumption of I'm going to meet somebody and then I'm going to make a lot of money, it's not really effective. So we have to understand the way the flow of it goes, how the process goes, so that we can set our expectations and our activities around those things, knowing that literally it's possible to do business with anybody, but it's not probable if they're not working with us and communicating with us, and we're not working with them. They don't know, like, and trust us. Sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so what are your ahas from that conversation, that portion? Anybody?
For me, I would say the diagram that cultivate, like seeing that makes paints a picture in my head.
Yeah.
As far as the steps, it's like kind of building that rapport before you get to that last step.
Yeah. Well, it's like we were talking about your for sale by owner guy, right? The odds of you calling him and him going, yes, I want to list with you at the first conversation is not high, right? Now he may do that, but he may be the only one that does it. You could call 500 other for sale by owners and they have a different response because they don't know you. That's
Yeah.
possible business, but the likelihood of him getting to know you, seeing your value, and having a relationship with you, that becomes the probable, right? And then it's
Yeah.
on us. That's our responsibility. The profitable is the reward after maintaining that relationship, showing our value and expertise. All right, let's talk about converting a lead. So capturing is defined as collecting the minimum amount of valid contact information with a potential buyer or seller. This is where you just joined coaching. I'm telling everybody, you want 100 to 200 contacts and you want information from them to make it a valid contact. If you don't have a phone number, email address, or mailing address on somebody, how is this really a person that knows you and you know them? That doesn't reflect possible business. That's the minimum you need, is that contact information. All right, the best connection practices. You want to embed your value proposition in the conversation, show that value. How is it unique to you? Everybody I talk to, especially in coaching, I want them to create a value proposition that's unique to them. It's not, hey, I'm a realtor. Well, there's 5 million realtors in America. That doesn't set you apart. What sets you apart is who you are, your unique gifts, your unique history before becoming a realtor, and the skills that you have now. Role play and practice conversations. Chris, you've been in here all of a week and a half, 2 weeks. You've already jumped into this, and can you see how it's helpful?
Oh yes, it definitely is. Just getting those practicing the scripts and just working through it makes it a lot easier for, when it actually happens.
Well, you want to embed that in your brain, that language, the things you say. And the only way we can do that is by doing it. Like we
For
can't
sure.
absorb it from reading. We can't watch it. It's really behavioral. So learning the scripts is not so much, I used to think, okay, well, I need to digest this information. I'm just going to memorize it and I'm going to kind of read it. No. It's a conversation and learning how to ask great questions, learning how to move the needle forward on that conversation. There's a spectrum of yes and no. And so if you don't have a firm no, the odds are it could be yes. But the more questions you ask, the more you show your value, that's the closer you're going to get to a yes. And role play and practicing is super, super important. And then know the outcome you want from the conversation before starting it. Using questions to lead the conversation. Why is that important to you? What is it you're looking to do by selling your home? Why did you choose to list your home for sale by owner? Why do you think your house is worth $500,000? You're going to continue to ask questions regardless of the situation. Why is it important to you to be a buyer in today's market? You've got to get to someone's motivation to be able to help them truly. So here's 6 connecting questions. Who are they? What do they want or need to do? Where do they want or need to do it? Why do they want or need to do it? When do they want to need or do it? And how do they plan to do it? So many times agents come in talking, hey, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to list your house, blah, blah, blah. And they don't get to this part here where it's, why is this important to you? How are you thinking about doing it? Where did you come up with that number to list your home? So we don't know where they're at and how to help navigate them if we're not asking great questions. All right, cultivate. You can't know or predict when they will come to a decision, but if you're reconnecting with them in a systematic way, you'll have a great chance of being there when they do. That's when you'll be able to close for an appointment. And that's from the Shift book, page 105. This is that diagram again. The diagram where it's like up and down and it shows every 7 to 10 years somebody moves. If you're not connecting with them, cultivating that relationship and strengthening it, they're going to think of whoever crosses their path first. Once they make that emotional decision, I'm going to sell my home, I'm going to buy a home, it's whoever's closest. They call that emotional proximity. That's why the relationship is so important to our profitable business. All right, when asking for appointment, what format do you think is most effective? Text message, email, phone call, or in person?
I would say in person.
I definitely would say in person, and I definitely would back it up with a phone call.
Yes.
Because someone is less likely to turn you down or hurt your feelings face to face. Again, that emotional proximity. If you're having a great conversation, you're connecting with somebody and you say, hey man, let's get together, and you walk away, that's on you. When someone says, hey, let's get together, oh, of course, yeah, I'll meet with you sometime. Don't lose that opportunity. They're already in, yes, I'll meet with you. Say, okay, well, let's go ahead and pencil in next Wednesday. I'll call you once I look at my calendar. That is triggering them going, oh yeah, I'll meet with you. So whatever the reason being that you're going to meet with them, you then follow up and go, hey, I looked at my calendar. I don't have Wednesday open, I do have Thursday, whatever the case may be. Then you follow up with a text message and say, hey, I'm so looking forward to meeting with you tomorrow. Starbucks, East Chase, sound good. You kind of confirm, you solidify the details there. And then the same thing too, you can email them, but that's where you're going to say, hey, I'm excited to meet with you. Here's some information on the value that I provide. I just wanted to send it over to you to let you have a look at it and let you have time to think of any questions before we meet tomorrow. That is a process in the system. That's not a, oh crap, what do I do? That's not a, oh, I don't know. I'll send them a message on Facebook. Yes, those things could work, but this is the most effective approach, is have in-person, face-to-face, definitely voice-to-voice phone calls, and then you can follow up with the other items. All right, if they can meet and they have a good enough reason to meet, they will meet. If they don't, they won't. And that's okay. You really don't care if their answer ultimately is because you really don't care what their answer ultimately is, because you're not getting people to do anything they don't want to do. You're just going to ask and respond until they agree that meeting with you makes sense, or it doesn't. Either way, you both win. And that talks about that spectrum from yes to no. I'll have to look that up on Shift because it's a particular thing they call it. But essentially, I think it's the decision-making spectrum. Every decision anyone makes, there's yes on one side and no on the other side. Well, in the middle, there's uncertainty. And you're going to go closer to a yes or closer to a no. Even sometimes that no is not really no. It could be like a soft no or a firm no. But anything other than a hard no, leave me alone, has the potential to become a yes. And if a person doesn't agree to meeting with you, that's okay. Don't take that as a no, I don't appreciate you, I don't want anything to do with you. Say, hey, if you think of anybody that might have a real estate need, would you please share my information? That still could be a yes. Does that make sense? Not making any sense?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a hard yes, Chris?
No, not at that moment.
Anyway, so it's our responsibility to continue showing that we're valuable and requesting meetings and helping people. What are your ahas from this little portion here? That was kind of a lot at one time.
Seems like it's, the persistence, just realizing at the end of the day, you're just trying to provide that help. So it's not really getting, the way I'm interpreting it is like, don't really get deterred, you just got to keep at it. And like you were saying, a no, like a shaky no might not be a hard no at that moment, as long as you just keep persistent and just keep trying to reassure them that you could provide help in their needs.
Well, my aha every time I kind of hear this or go over this theory of the decision-making spectrum is, if someone's giving you a shaky no or they're kind of uncertain, it's because I'm not asking good questions. Because if I'm asking good questions, I'm getting to their motivation, their why, and what's going on with the scenario, then either I can't help them, or I'm not asking good enough questions to show that I can help them. So if I have done that and they still say no, I can walk away from the conversation, situation, whatever, and go, I've done my part. It's not a uncertainty, oh crap, I didn't do a good job, because it's not about me, it's about them. And we're gonna cultivate so many relationships that the ones that it's like how the cream rises to the top. Once the people that raise their hand, we're having so many conversations, those people that raise their hand say, yes, I have a need, we're gonna be there. But if we're just counting on one or two conversations here to carry us into a profitable business, that's not realistic. So we have to put ourselves out there, and we have to convert. That's our job. All right, so let's talk about improving your conversion rate. So in order to do so, first of all, you've got to time block your calendar. If you're not time blocking your calendar for time to lead generate, you're not going to have a profitable business. I don't care if it's 1 hour a day, 6 hours a day, 4 hours a week, whatever it is, you got to have it on your calendar and you got to be disciplined with it. It's just like, I'm going to go to the gym. Well, just because you have a gym membership does not mean that you're going to tone your abs or lose weight. Your real estate license isn't going to make you money. Lead generation is going to make you money. Okay, so time block that. The second is use systems and conversations. We talked about how to make it a process that works for you. We've talked about what is most effective. Of course, the in-person, and then build your system around that. What feels good to you and how you'll start refining things to become more effective. Connecting with your database, starting with that information, getting as many people as you can. At minimum, everybody that I've ever spoken to wants to earn $100,000 in real estate. Well, the data shows using our CRM that 201 people with forms of contact information and that are on a systematic touch are earning $100,000. So it should be your one focus and goal. If you have no deals to work on, and even if you do, to continue adding to your database. That's why we call it a data bank. And then you're going to prioritize qualified leads. This is a whole effective system here and what you need to do. All right, so here's the model again. We're going to capture the appropriate information to get a hold of the lead. There's a saying, speed to the lead. So if you get someone's information and you wait a week and a half, a month, 6 months to call them, odds are they've bumped into another realtor somewhere. There are 5 million of us in America. You need to contact them quickly. It's not their job to call you, it's your job to call them. Secondly, connect to assess their needs and establish a relationship. Just had a conversation. Monica's about to go on her first listing appointment. This person has already said, yes, I want to list. So it's not necessarily she even has to convert to a yes. It's that we need to connect and see what her need is to be able to help her better as the seller. We're going to cultivate that relationship. Whatever the need is, even if somebody just wants information on what's going on in the market, you're happy to provide that. Even if they're not a current buyer or seller. You're going to connect with them, see what's happening in their family, what's going on in their lives, and just have a relationship with them. We realtors are typically likable people. And then be close by. No, don't be close by. Close by asking for the appointment, but also cultivating a relationship will allow you to be close by. So always ask. Whatever they say, if it's a question that could lead to a deeper conversation or some of that probable business, it's great. Sounds like we need to meet. Do not be afraid to say that, because once you get face to face with them, everybody does, oh, well, I don't know what to say. You're going to ask great questions. It's not about having a presentation. It's about asking the questions and what they need to do, and then say, hey, you know what? Thank you for giving me your time today. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do some research based on your scenario, and I'd love to set a second appointment with you based on what we talked about today. How does that sound to you if somebody said that to you?
Sounds like they're gonna, I would appreciate it. It sounds like they'll continue, working, even though there's none like binding set in stone as far as,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that validates you as a professional. You're not jumping and running. You're gonna take your time and as the expert, do your research. And there's nothing to say you couldn't meet the next day,
for
next
sure.
week, whatever it is, you're gonna seem like, man, this person is really gonna make sure. And the great excuse with the market being the way it is our market, our active market right now is changing daily. I would love to do some research specific to your situation, and let's get back together so that we can create a plan that's best for you. I mean, I'd be like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be so powerful. So definitely, these are some lead conversions, and this allows that when we're reverse engineering. And my question to everybody was, how much money do you want to earn in real estate? And then we reverse engineer to see how many appointments you need to go on. That's you're asking for appointments. If you don't ask for them, you're not going to get them. And the conversion gets greater the more you refine what you're doing, and you go, okay, well, that felt weird. Next time I'd like to say this. You're going to learn with every conversation. You're going to learn with more practice, and you're going to get better and better. All right, what are your ahas from today's session?
Overall, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that asking the questions about their needs so you can tailor the CMA to what they need, and that would be more of an effective way to, get them to list with you, and showing, that you are professional and can, tailor everything to their needs.
Perfect. Who else? Chris, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say how it like paints a better picture as far as the whole process goes, and your role and how to create these rapports with the leads, potential leads or clients. So it makes sense as far as the reassurance and keeping up with them and just showing them that you are a professional and not really you're just trying to provide help instead of trying to make a sales pitch essentially.
Well, and I think Jock said yesterday, he was like, we're never going to convince somebody to buy or sell a house and they don't want to. And that's not our place. Our place is to ask great questions and provide help for people that need it. You cannot force anybody to buy or sell a house. And that is never our intention. Our intention is to have as many conversations a day as we can to build a great database, because at the end of the day, your database is your business. If you don't have contacts and you don't know people that can do business with you, you don't have a business. So that's why I push 100 contacts, 200 contacts, 100 contacts to 200 contacts. That's really everybody. We're in a microwave culture. Oh, we want something instantaneously. Well, we want deals instantaneously, right? And we think, oh, well, if we come across a lead, we need to be instantaneous, giving them what they want. Of course, meet with them. Of course, fulfill the need. But instead of talking, because sometimes we can talk over them, talk to them, ask them great questions. Why is it important to them? What is it they're looking to do? Have they ever bought and sold before? When was that? What was their experience like? Getting to know them. Why is it that you're moving? Those are all very important things. Take notes when people are talking, be an active listener, and then say, hey, I'd love to curate some information for you. I can do a market analysis. I can do a marketing proposal for your home and look at what you can net. I'd love to meet with you again, maybe tomorrow afternoon or early next week, depending on when their time frame of importance is, and do your homework. Come back and do your homework. All right. So we've already talked about our ahas, but ahas to achievement here is, how has your thinking changed? What ideas or mindsets were new? What you feel differently about? I hope you feel differently about having some of those conversations. What was meaningful to you today? How will your behaviors be different going forward? What new actions will you take? What tools, models, or systems will you use, and how can they make you accountable? As a reminder, our goal is to have 10 real estate conversations a day. Add 10 of those contacts to command, send out 10 handwritten notes. Thank you for talking to me. And do the 10-5-1 social media engagement. And that's 10 likes, 5 comments, and 1 specific message a day. This is daily. I would add script and role play. If you can get with somebody, we paired off people for accountability. I don't know if that ever took off, but just calling somebody here, that's an agent or a family friend, whoever, and just start having conversations with them like they are a lead. That's going to cause you to get better and better and better. Record yourself saying these things so you can know what you look like. It's super important, and it will help you gain confidence and be able to convert that lead faster and more effectively. Anybody have any questions today about lead conversion? Feeling good about it?
Feeling good.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording. Hold on one moment.